Well, welcome to another episode of the Business is Mission podcast. I'm here with an old friend of mine, Mauricio
Yes.
Alvarez. He's in Spain now, and he'll tell us how he got there. He and I met. Keep me honest here, Mauricio, but we met at one of Dr. Jim O'Neill's Next
Mm,
Generation Leadership retreats.
yes.
I want to say 10, maybe 12 years ago, I think in Nashville. Anyway, we met at one of his meetings and we hit
Yes.
it off, and we've stayed in touch over the years, and we got reconnected recently through WhatsApp.
hmm
And it's been fun to see what God has done with you. So, first of all, Mauricio, thank you for joining us. You're more than welcome, my friend.
Thank you. My pleasure. Really, I've been enjoying talking to you by WhatsApp and even before the recording. So glad being here with you guys.
Yeah, no, so glad to have you. So let's cut right to the chase. As our listeners know, this is really about stories,
hmm
and so I've asked Mauricio to share his story. It's a good story, and it just encourages. I hope it encourages you guys listening to think, yeah, okay, I could do some of that. Maybe God's got something in this for me, and so
mm
uh, right now, Mauricio, start us out with kind of where you are and what you're doing, and then pretty quickly jump back to wherever you want to start when you feel like the journey to business's mission came and how God has led you and what he's taught you over the years.
Okay. Well, I will try to do this as quick as I can. But I am now in Spain. I have a business of I'm self-control demolition attachments. Those are attachments that go on excavators to demolish buildings and recycling concrete and recycling steel, hydraulic breakers, all that. I run 4 countries in exclusive rights of distribution for myself, but I do open dealerships for the company in for the factory in all the Americas, from Canada to Argentina. And my wife has here an English academy. We began with 3 kids. Two of those were mine back in 2015, and now we have 130, 140, and a nice location. And we are doing B4T, Business for Transformation. That means that we did open a church from scratch back 7 8 years ago here in my home. Now the church meets in the academy, which is a blessing. We have like around 50 60 people. Few new believers, maybe around 15. The rest are people, that came from, unchurched people.
Hmm.
And I run Open Espanol, which is the Spanish side of Open Network, which we describe ourselves as the network of the practitioners of B4T, Business for Transformation.
Hmm.
So this is where we are now. I have my bachelor in organizational management and MBA here in Spain, and I had just recently a doctorate in ministry where I did my research in B4T from the Latino perspective. So, which really gave me a lot of insight about what's going on with the Latino movement in B4T. So, has been very enlightening.
Yeah, first of all, I don't know what you do with your spare time because I know you don't have any, but but that doesn't surprise me knowing you. And I want to come back after we hear a bit of your story and the journey that God's
Mm,
led you on. Want to really talk about the Latin community in terms
mhm,
of business's mission, B4T, all the different
mhm,
things we call it, because two reasons. One is God's really given me a lot of work to do in
mm,
South America in particular,
mhm.
which
Yeah.
I've loved. And the other is because I'm convinced, and I really want to get your thoughts. We'll come back to this, but I'm convinced that God is doing something very powerful in
Mhm.
the Latin Christian community, and it's going to be a real force, a sending force,
Amen.
a BAM force, a B4T force, again, whatever label. Um, it just seems like God has got His hand in that community, and it's a huge community, as you well know.
hmm
It's the
Yeah.
fourth fourth most spoken language in the world,
Yeah, incredible.
behind Hindi and Mandarin and English, and comes Spanish. It's
Yes.
just it's amazing the size of this community. But first, take us back a little bit. Give us a little bit of history um, of how God's brought you on this journey, what He's taught
Mhm.
you, what He's called you to, and then we'll get into where you're going. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm coming from a very dysfunctional family. I'm born in Uruguay, South America, out of an Italian descendant family. But my first job was selling candies in the bus station of my home city. Just
Mm,
with a little box selling candies, all that. And I come to Christ with an IMB missionary when I was 8 years old. Basically, he adopted me and he discipled me my whole life. That really helped me to acquire role models for my life, which really inspired me. Um, when I had my missionary call, back when I was 15 years old, I had no money. I was the poorest kid in the block. Not possibility of future, nothing. At that time, God spoke directly to my heart. He told me, prepare yourself, go to school, do higher education, because through education, I will use you in the world.
mm,
So, and I was a part of this small businesses family or this, so I learned my first customer service lessons out of my stepfather, selling candies in the bus station of that. Very remarkable. They taught me the culture of work, many important things that really give me a trait in my mind, my heart. So fast forwarding, I realized I was Italian descendant. I had my Italian passport. And when that happened, my spiritual father, he was serving inside of a church, helping Rick Warren to redesign the whole missions department there. That was back in 2000 when Rick
mm,
got the whole vision about unreached people group was
mm-hmm.
because of that work that my mentor did with him. So that was amazing.
Ah,
So I was the president of the Youth Baptist Convention at that time, lacking of resources for mobilization and the youth, all that. So I called Jason and said, look, I need your help to acquire tools for mobilization use. So he invited me to go to Saddleback to be his assistant in the missions department and sneaking around in the youth department trying to learn that. So when I was there and I face the reality of the Hispanics in the United States, I realized this is somehow tied to your question. But you see that my life and Hispanic mobilization has been always in
mm-hmm.
the grass. But I realized, wow, Hispanic in the States, we need to learn a new language, a new culture, new system, new lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. All that is what missionaries have to do overseas. That means that the potential of Hispanics in the United States to international missions is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So that became my second missionary call to mobilize Hispanic from United States to the rest of the world. So I say to the
Mm-hmm.
Lord, okay, Lord, if you want me here doing that, you need to provide a legal way to be in the United States doing so. And in 1 year, he provided my religious visa, everything. It was incredible. So I ended up in southern Florida doing uh being a youth pastor. I become the missionary pastor of the church, later the senior pastor of the church, finally the missionary of the church. But at that time, being the senior pastor of the church, I was half-time, part-time, doing Hispanic mobilization with IMB to the whole country. So fast forwarding, Comina, which is Comibam USA. Comibam is a huge mobilization agency in Latin America. They called me to be the executive director of Comina back in 2009. When that happened, I quit to everything. I started to raise support, and I started to just to do traditional missionary work inside United States. I had an incredible man of God that he was supporting me, giving me my full salary. That was amazing. Till the result of the bubble that exploded, the real estate bubble of that, made that 2 years later after the bubble, this person lost his job, 2010.
Mm. Mm.
When that happened, all my income dropped because let me tell you this, it's very complex to Latinos who we have a network of Latinos in the United States to raise support. And there is a culture of supporting people in the American white church. It's very easy to a white American person with a strong project to raise money. It's very complex to us Latinos with only our Latino network to raise
Mm-hmm.
support.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up with my newborn starving. I was starving. He was not starving. But I was able to really eat because I had food stamp in the United States. And I was in crisis. I say, Lord, how come I am the director of a missionary agency helping to send under my leadership, we send more than 200 missionaries, we will help to send. How is possible that I am just living out of food stamp? And many times
Mm.
I had to accept to go to preach to churches, not because I have a word of God to say, but because I was needed to check after I was preaching. And I felt like I was lying, I was cheating. It was
Mm.
terrible the sense to me. That was my first encounter with the theology of work. When God really pointed me to the Bible and God told me, look, your first duty is not saving the world. Your first duty is not trying, to send as much missionaries as you can. Your first duty is to take care properly of your family. And if you need to take properly of your family, you need to go to work. There's dignity on work, and there's
Mm-hmm.
dignity to work to put a roof for your kids and to put food on the table.
So what a transformation,
Mhm.
because so much of the community is saying you've arrived when you get to do full-time missionary work or full-time
Mhm.
pastoral work. That's what everybody wants. They want to get out of business, out of jobs to do
Mhm.
that. And here you are, in that. And I know you want to know you were doing a great job, but you were hurting financially. What a
Yeah.
wake up call! And yet God uses this to turn your world
Yeah.
upside down. How hard was that, Mauricio, for you to hear that word from God that you
Hmm.
kind of thinking wrong here?
It is a challenge because it is true that I have that bit of business background, but at a certain point, to be in the United States full time ministry is your dream come true. And at a certain point, it is like you are dealing in daily basis trying to put your food in the table, and as you're fighting your mind with all the theology of faith about how you should be prosper because you're obeying God and because you has been faithful to missions, and you know that everyone involved in missions, God is responding their prayers, but I say, Lord, this is not working to me. Nothing
Mm.
is happening. So I realized that God, it was a really God changing the whole foundation at that time. And I remember that year, 2010, when that happened. And God told me, after I start to realize and unpack the theology of work, God told me, Mauricio, I'm creating a missionary wave of BAM people, Latino BAM people coming to missions.
Mm.
And I want you to prepare so when that wave is coming, you will be ready with resources, tools, and training, whatever, to help the Latino community to do their BAM or B40 work in the world.
Beautiful.
I didn't know what that implied. just I didn't know that God just started to show me a new path, and I had to obey and I had to go through. So I did two things. So I ran to look for a job. The good thing is that at that time I finished my degree. That was in 2012. I finished my degree in organizational management. So someone, because I finished my degree, because I had a degree, someone called me and said, "Look, I'm looking for a COO for this heavy equipment company about excavators, bulldozers, all that. So you fit the profile. Come over to help me." So that began my career in all this world of. That was amazing because I can tie education and my degrees with a new level of God giving me another responsibility. Of course, I'm
Mm,
not telling that everyone has to go to study. What I'm telling you is that whatever you do, try to do the best in that area. Even if you have if you have a skill, develop that skill in a way that you can become the best in that skill. Or if you have the capability to study, move forward and do something, but
yeah.
but train yourself, equip yourself,
And that's
so
about the
for
time you and I met, and when all
yeah,
of this was
exactly.
happening. And I didn't really know all this was going on. I knew that we connected, and we had simpatico hearts, but it was still like I didn't know all the stuff that was going on inside your heart and mind.
Yeah, well, I remember very well when I met you because you were one of the very first after Patrick Lay that I hear about the integration of business and mission in a way that really was relevant for me. And the other guy who really touched my heart that day, he spoke about male depression. I never
Hmm.
heard that. And I was in a depression because of all that I was struggling in raising support and that I didn't know. That why that meeting, I don't know if that was 2011 or 12 that we met, but it was so relevant for me because I began to have a few pieces starting to come together moving forward. So after that, I was looking, okay, who is who in the BAM world, and when I start to understand about BAM and or that, I found the network of the practitioners. I found Patrick or that,
Hmm.
and I say, okay, I fall in love with the concept of whatever I do in business, I want to make disciples. I want to really make this count. It's not only to have good ethics about my business. It's not only what I do with the money with the business. Is how I can transform the peoples around me with the business through the
Hmm.
business.
Hmm.
So that's why Open Network really caught my attention. But I was chasing Patrick for several years.
Chasing him all around the world.
Yeah, basically trying to grasp and having. Of course, they were working hard to establish the network, many things, and but long story short, I resigned to uh, to the missionary agency in March 2014. In June 2014, I became U.S. citizen with my wife, and in November 2014, the company I work for went bankruptcy.
Mm.
So I ended up myself just with no, all that gave me identity before, that was the missionary agency. I had no possibility to return back to that. And the new identity I was getting, my job, just was gone. So I say, Lord. But the good thing is, because I did what I had to do in the right moment, which it was become US citizen, I didn't know at the time that I had the freedom to say, okay, I can go whatever in the world, and knowing that always United States will be my base. I can always return and see what happened. No, Lord, I'm ready to whatever you want to do with me. And when I say that prayer, me and my wife, we thought at that time God telling us, okay, go to Spain, and put into practice your B40 project, because that will become your lab that will help you later to train Hispanics and Latino to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're back. So, long story short, I went to Italy to speak with the factory that it was an Italian product that we were selling in the company. Because I speak Italian, I had a relationship with the owners of the factory. So I went there and said, "Look, it is possible to send your product in Spain." They say, "Well, yes, it is, but do you have money?" I say, "I have no money." I say, "Well, you need to buy $250,000 that time. Now it's $500,000 in inventory to have the exclusive right of distribution in one country. It's sad you don't have money, but okay, stay with us here a few days." So after 4 days, he came to me with a contract. They told me, "Look, Mauricio, we have we'll look you for these 2 years working with us. We know we can trust you. So we are giving you
Wow. In
basically,
just a few days.
yeah." They gave me 4 countries, exclusive rights of distribution worth €1 million just for free. I mean, they didn't sold me the rights. That they told me, "Look, we are giving you the contract. These are your territory. If you develop well the territories under the numbers that you have here, territory is yours. You keep on." That was amazing, but these were my MBA that I was doing in Pompeu Fabra, Barcelona. When I began that when I was in the United States, I didn't know all this movement.
Mm-hmm.
My final project, they allow me to do my project about opening my business in Spain for running this company.
Wow.
That was amazing, because I'm looking back now. 90% of my project was my final dissertation for my master. That was I was seeing God doing. That's why I'm saying I have seen education and God purposes going,
Yeah.
you know, matching. So yes, of course it was hard. The very first 3 4 years, I almost barely had sales. I had to really, you know, uh, going the hard way. But definitely, I was able to open the market. Now I have 10 12% of the market, which is a very good number for here in Spain for the market of things. When I began, it was 0.3, so that is amazing. But the other important thing for me is that 2018, Patrick invited me to be part of the Spanish side of Open, just as part of a member, just working. In 2019, he invited me and my wife to mentor us for 3 years. Uh, and in 2020, he invited me to run Open Espanol and invited me to be board member of Open Network. So since there, I have been actively working very hard to to spread out this vision of B4T, to help Latinos to get involved, to help them. There's many traditional legacy missionaries that yes, they can do the transition to B4T. It's hard, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm helping them. There's others that they cannot. Their mindset is too much legacy. It's hard to them. But basically, we are looking for people who is really just job that the how to say Joe the plumber, who is on daily basis attending church and going to work and being a good disciple, making disciple. That is a perfect person to say, "Hey, if you can do this in your Jerusalem, you can do that in the end of the world."
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's what we are doing now.
So wow, and you told all that story in about 12 minutes.
Yep.
Um, so with what's going on now, I mean, obviously you've got your equipment company, it's doing well, and you mentioned something to me before we got on the call, the recording started. You were talking about making disciples
Mm,
in your business, not just running ethically, not
mm,
just using your money wisely, and
mm,
not just treating people well, but
mhm.
making disciples. Talk a little bit about that and what you've learned, because you're doing it. in another country, of course, from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's a Hispanic culture, which you
Mm-hmm.
grew up in, but it's not Uruguay. It's Spain. It's a different place, and you're
Yeah.
doing it there. Talk to us a little bit about that, because I think one of the criticisms that gets leveled at Business's Mission and B4T is that
Mm-hmm.
we're too much business and too little
Mm.
transformation, too little discipleship, and which I disagree with totally. But
Yeah.
but people will say, well, how do you make disciples in business? How do you do it? How's God
Yeah.
led you in that?
Well, one of the things that really, let me begin just a couple of steps before that. One of the things that really changed everything for me, it was to completely understand the theology of work. When you understand the theology of work and you understand abodah in Genesis 2:15, the
Hmm.
abodah means work, service, and worship. That means that as you work, you service God and you worship God. To understand that, really position myself to say, okay, Lord, the years I'm investing to growing my business is worship in your eyes. I'm
Hmm.
worshiping in your eyes. Doesn't matter if those years I am preaching in a pulpit or just opening the business in front of your eyes, it is completely the same.
Hmm.
So to understand the theology of work helped me a lot to understand that God is building foundation through work to help you to later do other things that you cannot do before, but things that you only can do working. So saying on that, in open, we challenge people to hire non-believers so those non-believers can be the people who really can be walking in your side and seeing God at work.
Hmm.
Because it's not, and even it's not about conversions, because we count a lot conversions, but many times we don't count about the discipleship process.
Hmm.
And Jesus is sending us to make disciples, not conversions. That means that discipleships begin when a no believer, because of a relationship with you, because of the dialogue, the friendship with you, because the interaction is beginning to accept biblical values as a realities in their life, even salvation is not coming yet,
Hmm.
even you know conversion is not there, but they're accepting the biblical values in their life. That is discipleship. And what really helped me a lot, is the Engel scale. Maybe you hear about
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
That is amazing. That was a game changer for me because it was so, because of course, people in America, people in Latin America, they ask you, oh, how many conversions you have in your church? How many conversions? Say, come on, do not ask me for that. Here
Yeah.
I'm working, I'm trying to do my best to reach people. I'm not Holy Spirit, you moving their heart to God. When I got the Engel scale, that helped me a lot. Basically, Engel scale say, okay, this is -8, which is no understanding of God and Jesus at all. Here's -7, -6, -5, blah, blah, blah. To 0, when people in 0, they have the full understanding of who Jesus is and the opportunity to say yes or no to Jesus. And
Hmm.
if they say yes, it's an other scale +8, where they're coming, to a fruitful believer, multiplying all that. So
Hmm.
God told me, Mauricio, your focus has to be moving people from -8 to -7, from -7 to -6. So basically, that is what I celebrate. That
Hmm.
is what I celebrate. So, long story short, we have more than 5, 6 employees with the academy and my business of people non-believers, and we're investing our
Yeah.
life in there. We are showing Christ in a relevant way to them. Of course, I have unchurched people coming to my church that I am opening, but of course, I'm giving them my best love, my pastoral care, everything as I can, the best I can. But I know there is a unique task that I have to do with my employees. They don't know me as a pastor in Sunday in the church. They know me as a boss in daily basis.
Yeah.
That's a completely other mentality. The way I speak Jesus in a known religious lingo,
Yeah.
how I show them many things. One of my employees, the husband of one of my employees, he is Turkish. So I have been developing a relationship with him. I've been, learning to drink their coffee, inviting him to the barbecues. I have a barbecue outreach strategy. We Uruguayans were well known better than Argentinians about, barbecue. It's a whole thing. Let me tell you, the only thing that I'm really good with his hands is to barbecues. So you are
Well, I'm going
more
to
than
be in
welcome
Argent.
to visit me.
I'm going to be in Argentina soon, and I'll tell them you said that. Because the Argentinians think they're best at everything.
Yeah, yeah. We fight always with
I
Argentinians,
know.
we tease one each other about that.
I know.
But yeah, so but the using of money, I understood, Luke 16, when Jesus is telling to this manager, it's like Jesus is praising the manager about cheating. Say, Lord, how come that can be possible? And later, Jesus say, use the money to win friends
Hmm.
because the son of the world, they're more wise in using the money, the resources, than the son of God. When I realized that, that means that the way I use money has to be to build a bridge to the heart of the people, because money is the language of the world. And many times we in church, it's like to speak that language is evil. And I
Right.
said, it's evil if I'm using the money as a God, if I am praising my mom, if I'm praising that God. But if I'm using the money with godly concept, that will become a breach. So I need to know how to use the money in a way that can touch life. That's why we're giving some scholarships to second generation Muslims. you know the very first, now we have some churches in the States that are supporting us $50 a month for adopt an one second gen Muslim. But the very
Hmm.
first, we have to cover those with our own money, because we really believe in this. But we are seeing the result of that in the life of people.
Hmm.
One short story: this product that I sell that is very costly, and one customer called me and say, "Look, Mauricio, do you have this product?" I say, "Yes, yes, I have this product." I say, "Okay, sell it to me." I say, "Okay, this is the performer." "Oh, good. Give me a better price, because this competition is giving me a better price. You need to give me a better price." And because he bought before something from me and the quality was very good, I say, "Look, you already know me. You know that I'm selling to you quality." So say, "Yes, you're right. Send me a performance Baer from you." When I was making the performer, he sent me the ad of was he was about to buy before buying from me.
Mm.
When I realized that, I say, "Oh man, I was selling to him a new Chevrolet. The competition was offering to him a used Ferrari. What you do? You are the professional who knows how the markets move, what is out in the market. You know that what he was offered by was costing the double." So when that happened, the Holy Spirit talked to me and told me, "Mauricio, what you do? You have the opportunity here to make good profit, to live 3 months out of this sale, or to tell him to go to buy this product because it's best for him, not for you.
Hmm.
Well, you should do." So finally, I called him and say, "Look, these people is giving you this product already installed and all that." "Yes, it's installed." "They're giving you warranty on this?" "Yes, they're giving me warranty." I say, "Man, go for it. just go and buy that. You deserve that product. It's a lot better than mine. Just go it. Just look this and this and this. He was in shock. 1 month
Of
later,
course.
I was on his area. I called him, said, look, here I am. I wanted to meet you. He said, oh, Mauricio, because all this was by phone. This was the first time we should meet. I said, come over. He invited me to his house. A mansion, huge house. Why, after the pool, he has this barbecue place. He started to cook for me. And he say, look, I wanted to know you because it is incredible the way you treat me, the money you made me save, all this. No one treated me like that before in my life. So tell me why. So he started to talk and say, okay, I am a man of faith. But he started to say, okay, what means being a man of faith? Well, then, yeah, I'm Baptist. But what it means? He said, well, I'm teaching Bible and science. What do you mean? Well, with this faith, I am a pastor. Can you believe that? And he started to laugh. I say, seriously, you're a pastor? I said, yes, I am. I said, oh my God, the conversation just shift. And he said, look, my fiancée, she needs to know you. Because she has a lot of spiritual questions. She was asking me to me. You're the right person to answer those questions. So she called her and said, come over fast. So I was talking with them 2 hours, presenting the gospel, talking about practical things, the gospel in real life. Everything. That was amazing. After 2 hours, that was 2 a.m. in the morning.
Mm.
I said, look, man, I have to go because I had another customer to see. Everybody, I want to pray for you. Can I pray for you? Of course you can pray. So I pray over them. When I opened the eyes, they were crying, both of them. And he told me, Mauricio, what you did to me? What you did to me? Look, my hair. I said, look, this is the power of the Holy Spirit. So picture this. This person has 10 businesses in Spain worth plus 50 millions. How you can make that person go to your church, attend my church? In America, maybe it's easy. In Spain, when here being evangelical is like attending a cult,
Hmm.
only because I was working, only because I was using money on his behalf, allowing him to buy a good product that I know that was good for him, and because I was resigning to my money to make him to have a good, that built the bridge to his heart to being completely open to share the gospel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can tell you tons of stories like this. People ask me about, is he converted? I say, no, he's not converted yet. But we have a relationship now for 5 years, and he called me once in a while to ask me for praying, to tell me how he is, to chat about life, many things. I have a friend
Yeah.
now. That is most important than myself. In certain, of course, I need sales, but I mean,
Yeah.
but God is doing a huge impact in his life. So all that is happening, many stories happening, many stories I can tell you. That's a real impact on a daily basis.
What a what
And
a what a beautiful way of thinking about because you're living out Christ in you,
mhm,
and He's creating these connections. He
mhm.
and by the way, He is actually the one who does the discipling, right? We
Yeah,
we don't actually do it. He does it through us.
that's right.
But if you're not if you don't see that, if you don't see that process, if you don't have that interaction,
Mm,
it just those things don't happen. But that's a great story. So let me ask you this, because we're going to need to come in for landing here.
mm,
Talk to us a little bit, Mauricio, about the global BAM B4T Latin community. What do you
mm,
see? What do you see in front of you right now, and what do you see coming? What is your
mm.
heart longing for in that community?
Yeah. Well, when I started to do my research about BAM in the Latino context, I realized that Latin America is like 20 years behind the movement as it is in the United States or Americans. But what really was surprised is how fast are Latinos to adapt to the BAM or beef and tea concept. even when maybe we're 20 years behind, we are expediting the times to really embrace this and going moving forward in an incredible way.
Mm.
So uh, there's here two different generations. You have all these generation above 40s that they are maybe old school or legacy school about doing missions or that. So there is a lot of great people in the field that they leave everything. So and maybe that people struggle to embrace the concept. But I realize pastors, missionaries, so that when I hear about, Patrick Lay told me about how he had to fight to really introduce the concept, to build the case, to help the people to understand BAM, all that, how long he took. To me, all it took one preaching in Latino churches with Bible confirmation and practical examples to have pastors embracing this just like this.
Mm.
I've been amazing. Some saying, wow, because I don't have to fight a long fight. And I did a research with 100 pastors and missionaries. More than 85% of them recognize that B14 and BAM is a must now for international missions, and it's something they are willing to consider and give space in their churches to really make missions possible for
Yeah.
the future.
I see that all over South
Mm,
and Central America. I haven't ministered in Spain before, but I go regularly
mm,
to South America to teach on business as mission, B4T,
mm,
and I have the same experience. When they hear it, they
yeah.
see it, and you graciously show it to them in the scripture. It's like,
Hmm.
yes, this is the future. They don't fight. Particularly
No,
the younger ones don't
no.
fight. They just like, okay, great. How do we do this? Which is
Yeah.
really fun.
This is the other thing I was about to say. It is that the generation below 40, they just ready to jump in. They just say, okay, what's the next step?
Yeah.
That's why we have to create training now process. Of course, we truly believe that the one who sent is the church. We only support them to do a sending that
Mm.
is responsible, that is really they have the tools and resources to do. But this is one important thing I wanted to say: the role of the Americans on the B4T in the Latino context. So I always tell my Latino people, look, what American has to give us is not money. Money is not the best that they can give us. The best that they can give us is management, is
Mm.
teach us how to run business properly, best practices, expertise, relationships. To have an American who really trusts in you and that can open you a door that you maybe never in your life you can open for yourself. But to having someone vouching for you, trusting you, open you the doors, that is the most important thing that can happen. Money will come later. Do not let sometimes or needs or daily needs to blurry our vision that maybe what we need from America is money. It is not. What we need is their friendship. What we need is that we can work together, that we can be. One of the beauty for me of being in open network is I'm sitting on the same table. It's not that I am a token because I'm a Latino face. They were needing because of diversity, they were needing, the Latino flavor. No, I am the same, sitting on the same table, talking with them openly, listening to each other, learning on each other. That's been amazing for me.
Mhm.
And when you realize that, we have this missionary force coming from Latin America. I truly believe Latin America is a missionary force ready. 20 years ago, maybe we were lacking of a lot of things. I feel now that the Latino missionary force now is mature, which is
Mhm.
amazing. And
That's
we are
so
ready,
encouraging.
and because we are mature, we are ready to move, faster to do this. Maybe before years ago, we were slow. Now, because we are more mature, understanding many things, and because it's a godly time, we are running faster on each other and we can work together. And there's many people, I can tell you, Latinos doing incredible things with business in the field, not all with the Latino money, just doing wow. I have now, many Latinos receiving American money uh, as if they were should be just Anglos. I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but Latino people just receiving a lot of money that in other times maybe people will Americans will not trust many. Oh, I don't know if these Latinos have the capability, but because these people has a record that they can show good
Hmm.
managers, they can do many things, and that is encouraging to many Americans to come together with Latino to do many things,
Yeah.
but not with that paternalistic vision, but yes, with the vision we can walk together. You have every one of us has things to put in the table, and together we can do this. Wow,
Yeah. Wow. What
I'm
a
falling in love with this season.
that is so encouraging, but it's also that's our challenge, right? To
Mm,
see the body of Christ, the Anglo and the Latino church come together for the sake of world
yeah,
missions is going to
yeah,
be unstoppable. So, all right,
yeah.
we're gonna have to stop. We could go
No,
on and
no,
on and
no,
on.
let me give you one final thought
Okay,
about this. I'm realizing now that I'm helping the African movement. I'm understanding, wow, I can see Africa where I was 23 years ago in
mm-hmm.
my mentality. Now I'm thinking, oh, wow, this is another role that we Latinos we have in B4T. If we learn to do it properly, we can follow the Africans in several ways to overcome all that poverty mentality to really move forward to another things. So that is a thought that when I plant the seed there,
No,
we can chat about that in the
I'm going
future.
to say I'm going to do a conference in Cameroon this summer. Maybe you should come with me because you have
Well,
a message. You have a message
yeah,
for the African community to say
yeah.
this is the process. Wow,
Hmm.
we could go on forever. We won't, but we could. We'll have to do this again. So Mauricio, quick logistics question for you. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that? Just your
Well,
normal business email, or how would you prefer?
yes, I have my several ways. Alvarez at mic.com. H like Hector, M like Mauricio, Alvarez at mic.com. But I have as well this site, um, B4T Next. B4Tnext.com is where my trainings about how to fill the gap on B4T. There's many trainings over there. So you say you go to contact, um, the contact place, and you
Yeah.
can just the email coming straight to me.
Perfect. And they can see a lot of the information that's out there and get an
Yeah,
idea of what's available and what they need to ask you. Man,
yeah,
it's so good to have you on the show and just to catch up. Thanks for
mm,
sharing this. I hate that we're having to cut off, but we do.
yeah,
We'll do it again. Promise that
definitely.
we'll do it again. All right, brother. Thanks so much, Mauricio Alvarez, businessman, pastor. Um, Now a major leader in the B4T
Mm,
organization. Fantastic,
mm,
what's going on?
mm,
And he's still young. You should, if you're not seeing
mm,
him on the video, he's just a kid. He's still young, and so God has a lot of things in store for you, brother.
mm.
Thanks for sharing with us so much.
Love you all. Thank you.